Hi, welcome back to Aura7 Yoga. My name is Francesca. I'm glad you are here. Today, we are going to work on stretching out our hamstrings. So for today's practice, make sure that you use a strap or you have a towel or anything like that handy so we can work with that. Let's meet our mats. All right, so for today's practice, we're going to use a strap and then we're going to lay down onto our mats, bringing the strap with us all the way down. And as you lay down, bring the soles of the feet together, let your knees fall out to the side. Place your hands onto your hips, onto your inner thighs. And just simply soften the whole body. Start to tune in with your breath. Take slow inhales through the nose. Equally slow exhales out through the nose. Start to feel how the energy is flowing through the body with each inhale. You find a little more length through the spine. And with each exhale, you allow the knees to fall out to the side, the hips to open up, the whole back body to melt down towards the earth. Couple more quiet breaths right here. And then see if you can stay with the breath the whole time, watching the inhales and watching the exhales. Now take another deep inhale in through the nose. Fill up the lungs all the way to the very top. Pull the belly in towards the spine, lifting the chest up towards the ceiling. Fill up all the way. Then open your mouth and sigh it out. Let it all go. Gently blink your eyes open. Bring your knees together. Hug the knees onto your chests, giving yourself a little squeeze. Keep your lower back down onto the mat. Maybe roll to the right and the left side, giving a little massage to your kidneys, to your lower back, maybe circling the knees one direction, and circling them to the other direction. Then release the soles of the feet down to the mat. Grab your strap, keep the sole of the left foot down to the mat, and extend the right leg all the way to the ceiling. Bring the strap around the right foot, grab that strap, and then start to flex the right toes towards the face, towards the right knee. So you feel that stretch not just in your hamstring, but you also feel it in your calf muscles. Good. Now see if you can plug that right thigh bone back into its socket. Keep the engagement in your belly, but keep that fluid breath in and out through the nose. And just gently pulling the right leg towards the face, keeping that flexing sensation in the right foot, like you're stepping on a pedal with the right foot. Lengthening through the back of the neck, maybe tucking the chin towards the chest. Now this pose can already be very intense. If you can move a little bit more forward, then see if you can extend the left leg forward. And then see if you can push the back of the left knee down to the mat and flex the left foot, activating through the left heel. So you created one long line from the crown of the head all the way to the left heel. Keeping the left palm onto your left hip, anchoring down that left hip, slowly start to pull the right foot, right heel out to the side. Keep flexing the right foot, and then still utilize the muscles in your core, in your outer right hip to keeping that right leg out to the side. See if you can straighten out through the right knee, right leg, without jamming that right leg, without just really pushing, just gently, softly breathing more length into that right leg. Deep inhale, stay here, exhale. Now pull the right leg back to center, and then we're going to switch the grip. You're going to grab the strap with the left hand, place the right arm out to the side, turn the right palm down, anchor down through the right shoulder, and then start to guide your right foot out to the left side. It doesn't have to touch the ground, but just finding a nice little stretch. So you should feel that outer right hip muscle. You should feel that IT band stretching out through the right side body. And maybe guide your gaze over the right shoulder, finding a gentle twist in your spine. Bring the right leg back to center, use the core muscles, grab the strap with both hands this time, and then crunch up all the way to the leg. Lift the shoulder blades away from the mat, and bring the forehead all the way to the knee. Good. Now slowly we're going to start to release the back of the skull down to the mat, and then see if you can bring the right leg with the face. So keep stretching through the back of the right leg, opening up through the right hamstring. Maybe your leg's going to start to shake a little bit. So just keep breathing in and out through the nose. Keep the calm energy in the body. Good job. Slowly release. Keep the strap. Rebend both knees. Place the soles of the feet down onto the mat. Maybe shake out your legs a little bit. And then lift the left leg up and away from the mat. Bring the strap around the left foot. Flex the left foot. Keeping the right knee bent, just slowly start to pull the left knee closer to the body. Keep the length through the back of the neck. And then just notice the difference in between the left and right side. My left side is definitely a lot tighter than the right side. So I need a little more focus. I'm focusing on the breath to open it up through the left side. Try to find balance in between the two sides, but also just paying attention. Honoring the difference. Good job. And then slowly reach the right leg forward if you did that on the other side. Flex through the right foot, push the right heel towards the back of the room and release the back of the right knee down to the mat. Deep, slow, steady breath in and out through the nose. Good. And then gently start to guide your left heel out to the side, to the left side, placing the right palm onto the top of the right hip, anchoring down through the right hip. Pull the belly in. Keep using the core muscles as you bring the left leg out to the side. Feel that nice stretch in your hip, in your hamstring, and also in your left inner thigh this time. So good. Bring your left leg back to center. Use the muscles slowly. Switch out the grip. Grab the strap with the right hand. Bring the left arm out to the side. Turn the left palm down. Anchor down through the shoulder. Then slowly start to bring the left leg out to the right side. Keep flexing through the left foot. So you should feel that nice IT bend stretch from the heel, maybe all the way runs up to your outer hip muscle. Just breathe more length into the left leg. Keep your right leg, the bottom leg, active and engaged. And find a nice twist in your spine. Good, and slowly using the muscles again, guide that left leg back. Grab the strap with both hands and lift the forehead up to the knee. Crunch up to the knee. Lifting the shoulder blades using the core muscles, pull yourself a little higher. Good, now see if you can keep the connection in between forehead and knee and slowly guide the head back down to the mat. So of course it doesn't matter if the forehead is not all the way onto the head, onto the knee. And see if you can breathe a little more length into that left leg. Let it shake, open it up, good. And then slowly release, good. Release the strap, bring the knees onto your chest, giving yourself a squeeze, a hug. Then extend the legs so the heel is gonna be right over the knees, open up through the knees. So the knees going towards the outside of your chest, towards the armpits. And just place the hands to the back of the legs, tuck the chin towards the chest, lowering the whole spine, especially the lower back down to the mat. And see if you can reach from the inside of the knees and reach all the way to the outer arches of the feet. Pulling the knees down, stacking the ankles on top of the knees. Good, now grab onto your right big toe and then slowly extend the right leg out to the side. If it doesn't go all the way straight, it's all good. You can keep a micro bend into the right leg, but see if instead of like just pushing the right heel out to the side, can you soften the back of the right knee out to the side with the breath, with each exhale. Good, then rebend the right leg, reach to the outer arch of the right foot, grab onto your left big toe with the index finger and middle finger, and then slowly extend the left leg out to the side. Pull the belly in, extend the left leg, tuck the chin to the chest. And again, just soften the back of the left knee. Open up through the back of the left knee. Good, come back to center. Now see if you can grab onto both big toes and then start to extend the legs out to the side and pause wherever you feel like this is more than just a stretch. It's getting painful, just stop right there and then see if in the next exhale, can you allow the legs to open a little bit more. If you need to keep both knees bent, then keep them bent. Maybe open up fully, maybe start to pull the big toes down towards the mat. Good, and slowly pull the knees back to the chest. Give yourself a squeeze, a hug. And start to rock and roll back and forth onto your mat. Give your spine a little massage. Then come on all the way into your hands and knee position. Go through a couple cats and cows, lift up the gaze, drop the belly, and round through the spine, push the earth away, tuck the chin to the chest. One more time, inhale. And exhale. Come back to neutral tabletop position. Walk your hands just a little more forward. Then tuck your toes under, lift your hips high, find your downward facing dog. Bend both knees, lift the tailbone high, keep the spine nice and long, and wrap your triceps down towards the mat, spin the bicep muscles to the ceiling. Create more space in between the inner ears and your shoulders. Pulling the belly in, keeping an engagement, lengthening through the lower spine. See if you can straighten out through the right leg, keeping the left knee bent. Pushing the right heel down towards the mat. It may touch the mat, it may not. If the right heel is down to the mat, see if you can lift up the toes away from the mat, the right toes away from the mat. You can then switch out to the other side, melt the left heel down, bend your right leg and straighten through the left leg. Same thing here. See if you can shift the weight all the way to the left heel and lift the toes away from the mat. And then come back to center. Now see if you can slowly start to straighten out both legs. They may not go all the way to straight. Try not to round through the spine, especially the lower back wants to round. See if you can keep that lengthening sensation through the spine before you're going to fully straighten the legs. Gaze towards the toes. One hand print at a time, walk back all the way to your feet. Ragdoll Uttanasana. Just fold forward. Interlock the hands behind your head and neck. Maybe give yourself a little neck massage, softening the back part of the skull, letting the crown of the head fall down to the earth. Then grab on opposite elbows, sway your body a little bit to the right, a little bit to the left. And then now see if you can shift the body weight a little more into your toe mounts. Now, the heel's going to start to be light, and you have that sensation of you almost like somersaulting forward. But then engage your core and trust in yourself as you soften the knees towards the back. See if you can keep the hips over the heel line, even if you have to keep the knees bent. Now stay forward fold, just bring the hands behind your lower back. Rest your thumb onto your lower back, squeeze the shoulder blades, and then lift the fist towards the ceiling. A nice little chest opener, feels so good. Let the fist to fall over the head or maybe just reaching up towards the ceiling, creating length in between the shoulders and the ears. See if you can soften the backs of the knees towards the back. Good, release. Hands down to the mat, walk back into a high plank pose, top of a push-up. Find a nice distance in between the hands and the feet. Lift the kneecaps away from the mat, the thigh bones away from the mat. Wrap the triceps back and gaze down at one spot. Pull the belly in. Take a deep inhale. Hold it here as you exhale. One more inhale. Thigh bones are really strong and straight. Thigh muscles are engaged. And as you exhale, downward facing dog, hips high to the sky. Walk your feet just a little bit closer. And then lift your right leg up. Keep your hips level. So if you gaze back, your right toes are pointing straight down to the mat. You're pushing the earth away. You feel equal weight into the left and right hand as you keep wrapping the triceps down to the earth. Now point the right toes back and lift the right leg a little higher. Start to open up through the hip. Feel that length. You can start to lift the left heel up and away from the mat. Feel the engagement in the left leg. See if you can stretch the right leg higher. And then keeping the right leg this high, see if you can melt the left heel down to the mat. And as you exhale, pull the knee to your nose, round through the upper spine. We'll step the right leg all the way forward into a low lunge position. Drop the back knee down to the mat. Point the left toes back. Then start to walk your right foot out to the right side of the mat. Keep the hands down. Lengthen through the spine. So feel that lengthening sensation from that left knee all the way to your chest, all the way to the crown of the head. Now from here, keep the left palm down, reach the right arm back, and then see if you can bend your left leg and reach back for your foot or ankle. Open through the chest a little bit. Feel that stretch in the frontal left hip bone. Deep inhale. And exhale. Slowly release the left foot down to the mat. Hands down onto the mat. Keep the runner's lunge. Tuck the back toes under and lift the left knee away from the mat. Again, feel that nice stretch in the frontal left hip bone. And then maybe roll to the outer arch of the right foot or keep the right foot straight, whatever feels better. Take a deep inhale. And exhale. Maybe you can come down onto your forearms. You can also use a block or books underneath your elbows if you like that. And again, find that energy line from the back heel all the way to the crown of the head. Can you work your chest more forward? Can you lift the left knee a little bit away from the mat? You then roll back onto your right foot, come back onto your palms, release the left knee down to the mat, and come into a half split position. Flex the right foot towards the face, lengthen out from the spine. Take a deep inhale, exhale, slowly bending the elbows, keeping the flat spine, pulling the belly in, flexing the right foot towards the face, lengthening forward, and feeling that stretch in the back of the right leg. Deep inhale, and exhale. Good. Now hinge forward. Hands down to the mat, right foot in between the hands. Tuck the back toes under, lift the left knee away from the mat. Then turn the left toes out to the side and inhale, rise up into your warrior one. Place your hands onto your hips, step the left foot in, come into a pyramid pose. Turn the hips all the way forward. So you most likely have to move the left hip more forward as you pull the right hip back. Then bring the hands behind your back. You can grab on opposite elbows. You can bring the fist against each other. And then you can also come into a reverse namaskar. Palms come towards each other, pressing in towards each other. Squeeze the shoulder blades open through the chest. Pull the right thigh bone back to its socket and root down through all four corners of your right foot. Now keep the chest lifted. Take a deep inhale, then slowly start to go forward and pause halfway. Good. See if you can keep the spine long and engaged. And now see if you can pull the right hip back into its socket. You feel the outer arch of the back foot rooting down to the mat, but you also feel all four corners of the right foot pressing firmly down into the earth. Take a deep inhale, and as you exhale, go all the way forward. Bring the forehead down to the knee. It may go all the way down, it may be far away from it, and it doesn't matter. Just start to feel the sensation in the body. Tune in with the breath and see if with every exhale you can let the body open up. Just 1 inch at a time, or maybe even half of an inch every time. Pressing those palms together. So your spine is rounding in this position, but you have those palms or elbows in the backs, especially around the mid and upper spine, to remind your spine to keep lengthening forward. Find your balance. If you're struggling with balance, you can separate the feet a little wider. Now stay here, just interlock the hands, press the palms together and squeeze the shoulder blades. Again, find that length, the space in between the inner ears and the inner shoulders. And then send those fists more forward. Beautiful. Slowly engaging the core, pressing into the feet. Rise all the way up into standing position. Bring the hands onto your hips. Turn to the side. Separate your feet a little wider. Turn the toes slightly in. Your heels are slightly out. So your feet are almost perfectly parallel, but maybe slightly pigeon-toed here. Hands onto your hips. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Take a deep inhale. With the next exhale, slowly come forward. So as we come forward into this standing forward fold, Prasarita Padottanasana, we tend to push the hips back. So try to feel how your hips are aligned with the ankle line. That most likely means that you need to shift the body a bit more in towards the toe mount. Even though you feel that you may gonna fall forward, but you won't. Just engage the core, trust in yourself, and allow the crown of the head to come down towards the earth. Squeeze the shoulder blades, find more length through the spine. And slowly, hands onto your hips with a strong core, rise back all the way to stand. Turn towards the front of the room, step the left foot next to the right. Hands at your heart center, Samastitihi. Good, now we're gonna separate the feet hip distance apart. And we're gonna fold all the way forward. Grab onto your big toes with the index finger and middle finger. Now start to reach the crown of the head forward. Now instead of pushing the hips back behind the ankle line, see if you can shift the body weight all the way forward towards the ankle line. So your hips are really stacked over the ankles. Even if your knees are bent, that's absolutely fine. Take a deep inhale. Keep all that length into the spine. Start to pull the forehead down. Bring that towards the shins as you let the crown of the head to melt down to the earth. Now lift the shoulders away from the ears. Lengthen through the back of the neck. And allow yourself to go maybe just a half of an inch more forward towards that toe mount. Your heels are getting a little lighter. Take a deep inhale. Exhale, let it go. And grab your strap again. You're gonna stand up all the way. You're gonna root down through the left heel and you're gonna lift up the right knee. Now grabbing the strap, you're gonna place the strap around the right foot. You're gonna bend the knee and bring the right hand, the right arm to the inside of the right knee. Now first, connect with the earth, rooting down through the left heel, keeping the left leg strong and straight, pulling the belly in. Keep the whole body engaged. So again, feel that energy line from the left heel coming all the way to the crown of the head. Now slowly start to kick the right heel in front of you. So you have the strap so you can adjust it. How close or how far you want to hold that strap. Flexing the right foot, pull the belly in, pull that right thigh bone back into its socket. Take a deep inhale and exhale. Feel the big toe mound and the pinky toe mound on the left foot, as well as you're feeling the heel onto that left foot. Good. Now we're going to start to guide the right heel out to the side. Find one point where it does not move around you. You can bring the left arm out to the side if you want, or keep it onto the hip, whatever feels better. Try not to lift the right hip higher. Tuck the tailbone under and pull the right hip back into the center line. Take a deep inhale. Then slowly guide the right leg back to center. Good. Bring the left palm back onto your hip. And we're going to let the strap go, but we're going to keep the right leg lifted and lift both arms up to the ceiling. Deep inhale. And as you exhale, try not to touch the ground with the right leg. Dive forward, bring the fingertips down to the mat. Went into a standing split. So you can square the hips and lift the right heel that way, or you can slightly open through the hips, whichever feels better. You can start to walk the hands a little closer to the feet. You can even grab at the back of the left leg and lift the right leg all the way to the ceiling. How high you want to lift it. Deep inhale. Exhale. Step back. High plank. Hold your high plank position. And stretch back. Downward facing dog. Good. Just have to do the same thing on the left side. So bring the feet a little closer together. Root down to all 10 knuckles. Open up through the palms. Find that nice foundation. And then lift the left leg just halfway up. Imagine like you're pushing your left heel into a wall behind you. But you're feeling the right and the left palm equally rooting down to the mat, supporting you. Wrap the triceps down. Now point the left toes and start to lift the left leg a little higher. Open through the hip. Oops, a little pop, little crack. That feels good. Now start to lift the right heel away from the mat and then see if like that, you can maybe lift the left leg even higher, engage the left glute. Keeping the left leg this high, see if you can melt the right heel down to the mat. Yes, I do feel the difference in between this right and left side. The left side is definitely tighter for me. Take a deep inhale, exhale. Pull the knee into your chest, come into a high plank position, round through the upper spine like you're doing your cat pose. You're trying to kiss your knee, then step the left foot all the way forward into a low lunge. Toe heel the left foot out to the side, come into that runner's lunge. First, we're going to drop the back knee down, the right knee down, point the right toe back. Right palm stays down, reach the left arm back behind you, find a twist. If that's enough, stay here. If you want, you can start to lift that back leg away from the mat, capture the foot or ankle, and find that twist. Now this time you should feel that nice stretch in the frontal right hip bone. Good, release the foot. Come back to center, stay in that runner's lunge so both hands are to the inside of the left foot. Then tuck the back toes under, lift the left knee away from the mat. Good, find that nice long line again from the back heel all the way to the crown of the head. And you can start to roll to the outer arch of the left foot, let the left knee to fall out to the side. Keep breathing length into the body, pulling the belly in. And of course, you can again come down onto your forearms if you did that on the other side, maybe supporting it with the block. Slowing down the breath. Good. And then gently come back onto your palms. Turn the back toes back. And then we're going to come into this half split pose. So walk your left foot back to center, drop the right knee down. And then start to straighten out through the left leg. Hands by your side or either side or both sides of the left shin bone. Pulling the left thigh bone back into its socket. Flex the left foot deep. Inhale. Exhale, lean or forward. Reach with your sternum like your sternum is trying to reach all the way forward. Pulling the belly in and plugging that left thigh bone back into its socket. Deep inhale. And exhale. Good, rebend your left leg. Good. Tuck the back toes under, lift the left knee away from, right knee away from the mat. And then turn the right foot down, that's your back leg still. Turn your right foot down to the mat into a 45-degree angle and inhale, rise up into your warrior one. Place your hands onto your hips and then step the back foot in slightly. Come into pyramid pose, turn the right hip forward, pull the left hip back. Now feel how you're engaging that left thigh bone, really pulling the left thigh back into its socket. Bring the hands behind your back, any position, whatever you did on the other side, elbows, fist, or maybe go into that full-on reverse namaskar. Open through the chest, pull the belly in, take a deep inhale, engage your left thigh, exhale, go just halfway down. When you get into this halfway position, then start to engage your left thigh again, pulling the left thigh bone back into its socket, and feel the connection with both legs. So you're not shifting forward, the body weight forward into the left foot, you're not shifting the body weight all the way back to the back foot, you feel equal weight in both feet. Outer arch of the right foot is rooting down to the mat, and all four corners of the left foot is melting to the earth. Supporting, you're not sinking into your joints, you're lifting the energy upward. Take a deep inhale, exhale, fold forward. Bringing the forehead towards the knee. Now reconnect with the back foot. Push the back heel down. And again, pull the left thigh bone back into its socket. Like if you were trying to lift the energy from the earth, from the heels all the way up to that left hip socket. Keep lengthening through the spine. Now interlock the hands behind your lower back. And then as you exhale, lift up the fist and slowly let them fold forward. Opening up. Finding again that length from the in between the ears and the shoulders. Press into both feet equally. Inhale, rise up all the way. All right, we're going to turn again to the side. I'm going to turn towards you, but you can turn towards the other side. You're going to step up back into that wide-legged forward fold position. Turn the toes slightly in, heels slightly out. Feel all four corners of the feet. This time, bring the hands behind your lower back. Squeeze the shoulder blades, pull the belly in. Take a deep inhale, exhale, fold forward. And again, start to watch your hip and the heels. Are you shifting the hips back? Or can you keep the hips over that imaginary heel line? Crown of the head is dropping down to the mat. Now, if your hamstrings are really tight, you can start with bent knees and shifting the body weight more into your toe mounts. And then maybe eventually you can start to see if you can soften the backs of the knees towards the back of the room or whatever is behind you. Tune in with the breath, slow it down. Good, and engage the core, slowly rise up, all the way to stand. Turn towards the front of the room, hands at your heart center, Samasthiti. Separate your feet hip distance apart. Slowly fold forward, bend the knees if you need to. Then slide your palms underneath your feet, step onto your palms. Bring the toes all the way to the wrist crease. So you can really nicely step onto those palms, opening up the joints. Take a deep inhale, reach more forward. Again, more almost like going into your somersault. And as you exhale, fold forward, pull the forehead down in between the legs, lift the hips high. Lift the shoulders away from the ears, find a nice length. Slow breath in and out through the nose, 2 more. Feel how your vertebrae are gently separating from each other, lengthening through the spine, and also the backs of the legs are opening. And gently pressing the backs of the knees towards the back of the room. So your arms are really strong here, helping you find length through the spine, through the backs of the legs. Release. Release the palms. And then grabbing your band or a strap, coming all the way up into standing position. This time you're going to root down through the right leg. And we're going to strap the left foot. Bring the left arm to the inside of the left knee. And find balance. Yes. Place your right palm onto your right hip. Keep that right leg strong and straight. So gently tuck the tailbone under, pull the lower belly in. Keep that right glute engaged. Right hand on your right hip. And slowly start to kick the left heel in front of you. As you kick it out, you want to find that length, that height. So your left heel is aligned with the left hip. Flexing the left foot, and then constantly feeling that you're pulling the left hip back into it, left thigh bone better back into its socket. Good. Pulling the belly in. Deep inhale. And exhale. Now slowly start to guide the left leg out to the side. And again, keeping the standing right leg strong and straight. Tug the tailbone under. Just bring it out as much as it's comfortable. But yes, you're going to feel that stretch. You're going to feel maybe the standing right leg shaking slightly. Pulling the belly in, flexing the left foot towards the face. Deep inhale. Now guide your left leg back to center. Good. And now release the strap and lift both arms up and away from the mat. Good. Lift the left heel all the way hip height. Pull the belly in, lean more forward and up. Take another inhale. And as you exhale, we're going to dive all the way down. Hands down to the mat. Coming to that standing split. And again, you can keep the hips leveled if that feels better. That feels like a more of a good stretch for you. Or you can slightly open the hips and lift the left leg higher. Start to guide your forehead to the shin. Maybe then wrap the right forearm behind the right calf. Or you can try to grab the ankle with both hands. I'm not going to try it today. Pull the forehead down. Lift the left leg even higher. Keep the left glute engaged. Deep inhale. And as you exhale, step back into a high plank position, top of a push-up, and stretch back, downward facing dog. Come down onto your knees. Turn to the side and open to the legs. Upavishta. You don't have to open the legs too wide. It's like a 90-degree angle at most, or maybe not even 90-degree angle. Point the toes to the ceiling and point the knees towards the ceiling. Keep the length through the spine. So it could be already a difficult posture for you. You can feel that you're rounding through the back, the lower back especially. Then bring the fingers behind you and then see if you can help with your fingers to upright yourself. For a couple of you guys, it may be an easier posture. So you can start to walk your hands forward, but watch the toes and watch the knees. Make sure that they're pointing all the way forward. Lengthen through the spine, deep inhale, exhale, go forward. Lengthen through the spine, deep inhale, exhale, fold forward. And again, constantly remind yourself, there is no further final destination in yoga. You're working with your body every single day. Just reminding yourself to stay in the body, stay with the breath. So it really doesn't matter how deep you can go into this posture. What I want you to feel more is to be connected with your breath. Being aware of every single inch of your body. And instead of forcing to achieve a certain shape with your body, try to achieve a certain feeling with your body. Good job. Slowly come on back up. Turn towards the front of the room. I'm going to come into Paschimottanasana. But this time you're going to use your straps. So we're going to work on keeping that spine nice and long. Maybe start to walk the hips a little bit back. So you're feeling more like the sit bones are rooting down to the mat. And again, it could be a little bit difficult to keep your spine upright. So many of you guys feel like this in your spine, right? Rounding into your lower spine. If that's the case, bend the knees and then see if you can find a longer spine here. Good. But if you're able to keep the spine long, and maybe even at the same time, melt the backs of the knees down to the mat. Take a deep inhale, keep that length. Just start to pull onto those straps and pull your chest closer to your legs. And again, it doesn't matter if your belly's down onto the thighs or not. What matters is that you feel that nice stretch in the backs of the legs and work with the breath to open up the body. Noticing that every day is different. Some days I can easily go forward. Some days I feel a little tighter. And you just have to honor that. Deep inhale. Exhale. And maybe get rid of the strap. Just for a couple breaths, fold all the way forward. Just find ease in the body. Allow that opening just to happen naturally as the gravitation is pulling you down to the mat. Gently rise back up. Bend your knees. Slowly roll back all the way down onto your mat. Bring the soles of the feet together. Let them fall out to the side. Place your left palm onto your heart, the right palm onto your belly. Close your eyes. Just a couple moments here to tune in with the breath, to let go of the practice. Let go of everything which just happened to you and start to train your mind to come to the present moment. Just simply focusing on the inhales and exhales. And then see if with every inhale and with every exhale, you can create longer and longer space in between the thoughts. Find that feeling of calm, feeling of presence. Take a moment to scan your body from the toes to the crown. Just notice where you tend to hold on some tension for a little bit longer. And again, just be aware and let that go. Just soften the jaw, the shoulder, the hip, whatever that area is for you. The eyelid, the forehead. Take one more deep inhale. This time open your mouth and sigh it out. Let it go. Good. And slowly bring your knees together. Hug your knees onto your chest. Roll over to your right side, fetal position. Use your right arm underneath your right ear, a little pillow. And press yourself up into a seated position. Cross your legs. Bring your hands to your heart, or maybe bring your palms onto your thighs, palms facing up or down, whatever feels comfortable. Start to listen to your own body and be your own guide. Keep your eyes closed, just still tuning in with the breath. Take a deep inhale through the nose. And as you exhale, bow forward, sealing into our practice. Namaste. Thank you so much, friends. Thank you for practicing with me. We worked on those hamstrings, so keep coming back to the same practice. Keep working on the hamstrings. Just know that every day is different, so try not to force these poses. Just really make sure that you're working with your breath, especially those exhales can be really, really useful. It was amazing to practice with you. Leave a comment, subscribe to the channel. Leave me a comment what kind of a practice you would like to see on this channel, and see you back very soon. Have a great day.